Well, this week, Apple introduced its first new AirPods Pro model in 3 years, adding new health tracking features. The new device will feature a heart rate monitor, allowing the earbuds to work with an iPhone to track a wearer's pulse and measure calories burned during exercise. And Tim, our next guest, knows a lot about the relationship between technology and wearables specifically and how it all plays into the health world.
Let's get to the Business Week Women's Health segment, where we focus on key issues and developing technologies impacting the present and future of women's health around the world. We've got with us Rosalind Picard, Doctor of Science, Grover M. Hermann Professor of Health Sciences and Technology at the MIT Media Lab, also Director of Affective Computing Research. She joins us from Cambridge, Massachusetts. Affective computing, what is it?
Hi, it's such a pleasure to be here with you. Affective computing with an A is defined as computing that relates to, arises from, or deliberately influences emotion.
Wait, okay. So walk us through that. So it's in use today, and how is it, what is it enabling us to do?
Lots of things. It's an area started here at the MIT Media Lab decades ago. And initially it was about giving computers the skills of emotional intelligence. Then we started learning that a lot of people could use better understanding about emotion also. Working with many people who had difficulty understanding others' emotions as well as their own, we started building wearable technologies that could monitor physiological changes in our body, even when we were leaving the lab, not just here hooked up to racks of equipment.
Then those physiological changes were documented, obviously for research, but in terms of helping others understand what a person is feeling or experiencing, how does that work?
Yeah, so obviously emotions are very personal and very private, so we don't do any of that sharing of it without people's fully informed prior consent. However, there are a lot of times when people are confused about their own feelings. For example, a person's heart may be racing and they may think that they have a cardiac condition, but in fact, it may be their fear of a cardiac condition that is causing the heart to race. So the wearables let you collect data in the real world. In fact, we built some of the first wearables here in the Media Lab, at least the first ones I know of, that could monitor the cardiac information and the autonomic nervous system information, like your fight or flight response.
So walk us through, because this is, as you said, wearable computers at MIT. You've been working on this for over 2 decades. Walk us through a little bit of kind of where you guys, or how you were thinking about it a couple of decades ago versus kind of where we are today and the progress you've made and how it's evolved in terms of what wearables can do when it comes to really assessing our health.
In the beginning, we were interested in emotions that could help make people's experiences better, say in a learning experience. Is the learner frustrated or bored? Or usability? Is this software driving users crazy? Or is it a great experience? And automobile driving too. Is this situation on the streets stressing out people? Could we change the situation and have lower driver stress? So we started by building wired systems that could leave the lab. And then later we built versions with small wireless sensors that could go on jewelry and in wrists. We built the first wrist watch that could monitor simultaneously signals like electrodermal activity and PPG, the photoplethysmography that's used to extract heart rate today. And also, you mentioned the Apple thing. We built some of the first earbuds that actually worked with an iPhone that measured heart rate with consumer quality data and published that, I believe it was back in 2009.
Well, I love what you are talking about. And I think about, as a woman, as a mother of a daughter, that when it comes to women's health specifically, I feel like there is a lot that's not paid attention to. And obviously there's been studies and research that really bear this out. So I'm curious about how technology or wearables can improve the health and health outcome and knowledge and assessment when it comes to women specifically.
Thanks for asking about that. Women have definitely been left out of a lot of health studies. I learned that it's less than 10 years ago that the National Institute of Health started even requiring scientists to include female mice and rats in their studies. Before, they were sticking with just the males. Amazing. To avoid the complexity of the female system. The opportunities are huge for health with wearables, and especially for women's health. There are so many conditions that are different for women than for men. And they're not only vastly understudied, but the kind of data is very undersampled. It's like asking somebody what they feel or what they experience instead of actually counting the way that the pain each month is affecting their life or the way that the disruptions at night are affecting their sleep. And now we can do those kinds of measurements with wearables.
So what is the right technology, in your view, that people, and specifically women, need to adopt in order to have this better understanding?
Well, I'm not going to be promoting a particular product here today. At the Media Lab, our job is to make possible those future things. We're building the things that are pre-product, that are in some cases decades ahead of what will be out there. Sometimes we're also using commercial systems to gather data. So one example of that is we use a smartwatch that collects autonomic data and movement data, and we're looking at the structure of what is enabling people to sleep better. Sleep is such a huge problem, and it affects women differently than men, and we need to help people fix it.
So let me ask this question in a different way, which is, when you look out at the products that are available with the context of what you've been working on for years at the MIT Media Lab, what has been harnessed and sort of what is still in the pipeline? What is still being researched? Like what percentage of the opportunity that you think is out there has actually been achieved with the products that are on the market right now? Where are we in that timeline?
Oh, probably about 1% of it has been achieved.
Okay.
There's so much more we
cool.
can do. Yeah, there's a huge amount of stuff happening here that is not out there yet. As you saw, just like even from the pulse rate and earbuds, you know, what did that take? You know, 17 years for Apple to get to their announcement. Actually, other companies did it 10 years ago. So I don't know why they're just doing it now. But there are a lot of new innovations. For example, my colleague Janan Dagdevaran is leading a group here to revolutionize the early detection of breast cancer and make it really comfortable and easy to monitor changes to avoid the kinds of nightmares of detecting cancer changing very fast between screens, or people not going to get a mammogram or get screened because it's uncomfortable or it's expensive. So she has built conformable technology that shapes to the breast and allows people to get clinically significant, great data without the discomfort of, being pancaked.